Yesterday, I was. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all feeling out there? I am Omi Bell. I'm here with my co-host, Takia Ross. How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you? How are you?
I'm rocking and rolling. You know what I mean? I'm making it happen. I'm trying to do. I'm snapping and making it happen. You know, I'm doing all that. I'm moving and grooving. I am figuring it out. You see what I'm saying? That is where we at today. And sometimes that's all we got. Is I'm figuring it out. I'm out here.
I like it.
I got enough to put some earrings on. See what I'm saying? Put some. I lotioned up. You know, I think like the small things are important.
You did good. You did good. You did so good.
Just got a little Vaseline on. You know, sometimes my lips, I don't have no Vaseline on when I come. You see what I'm saying? We gotta celebrate. We have to pause to celebrate the things that just make us human beings, because there's so much happening constantly.
Yes.
Everywhere we go, everywhere we are, that the fact that you even put one foot out the bed today, see what I'm saying? The fact that you like put one out, then another one out, and then you lift it, we got to stop and say, hallelujah.
Yes.
Yes. We are thankful. We have gratitude.
So
and then after you put, you know, matter of fact, you might even put 2 feet on the ground yet. You might just be listening to us and our shenanigans, and we should appreciate that. You see what I'm saying? If you were on your scroll and you saw that little live button pop up, and you were, let me see what they're talking about.
Yeah,
we deeply appreciate that, because we know what it's like. We doing it right now. We dealing with it right now. We 2 days from the end of the 30-day show.
Let me try to tell you something, Omi. I don't think people really, the level of commitment that is required, like this was like, and you know, we all, you and I are like committed people. Like if once we say we doing it, that's it. It's getting done.
I'm in doing it.
But it was like every morning, like even though it's 9 o'clock my time, like I don't know if 9 o'clock just run up on me every morning, or if I'm just not ready for 9 o'clock. Like I be up at 5 o'clock. Like I be up. That's my normal time. You know, I'm shuffling around the house, you know, doing my things. And then it's just like 9 o'clock. I'm like, God, the people careful. Wait a minute.
And listen, so this is my second iteration of the 30-day show for those watching us. The first run, I did 30 actual days, like 30 days every day. And for me, it's 6 a.m. right now. So I get up at 5 and get ready, hop on. And then it was during the school year. So I get up, hop on. My daughter gets up at 6. I got to hop off at 7:30, get her to school. So the level of commitment, but the level of impact I saw, I was like, dang, we should do this again on the BGV side. So here we are, 30-day show, BGV edition. And this time we only did weekdays. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. So many people have asked me about the format, and have asked me like how we're doing it simply, how we're getting the clips. I put a playbook together, but I have not released it. I promise I will release it on our last day, which is what, tomorrow?
Thursday.
I'm gonna go to Claude, you know what I'm saying, and code up real quick somewhere for y'all to go get this playbook for the 30-day show, because I do believe that people should do it, especially for those out there who you're creating content, but you're trying to figure out like what mode you should do it in. You like, I don't know, like this right here. Find you somebody you like talking to for 90 minutes that you can talk to every day for 90 minutes with no problem.
Yeah.
Like that's number one. Create a Calendly link. Throw it out there to your audience. Let people sign up as much as they want. And then just hop on every morning and talk. Like that, like hop on every morning and talk to your friend publicly the same way maybe not the same way you talk to them privately. But
we don't want them to know all.
You know what I'm saying? We try to figure all your business out. But ultimately, just that is if there's any key to it, one of the major keys is having someone that you don't mind talking to for 90 minutes a day.
Yeah.
That really is a kicker. Now, and then it's the businesses or whatever your audience is that comes and talks back. that you kind of get in the group. Because some mornings I might be like, oh my God. And then we get on here and then we get to talk and it's like, okay, girl, girl, because that's what I'm dealing with, whatever. So I would say that, like, just know that that's one of the keys. Now, the outcome or the impact of it is, if you tired of your Instagram followers not moving, Instagram followers are moving like GPAs move. You know what I'm saying? The point behind the moving. If you are tired of that, then I would say going live every day or going live consistently every week does help people follow you. Because I think people start seeing you be live and they're like, live again, live now, live, you start, that bubble keeps popping up at the top of their screen. They go watch, they hear a part of what you're talking about. They want to come back later and watch you again. So they just hit follow. Like, and it's like a way to like get like people to follow you on YouTube. It is a way to get some of your watch hours up, but definitely a way to create some branding and a look and feel for your shorts. And shorts creates a hype amount of brand awareness. And so I would say that, like, the YouTube shorts, like that right there, golden, to be honest. Like, the way we can do this for 90 minutes, clip it up, and have like 10 YouTube shorts, golden. All right. Like, I would say that, like, if you're trying to build your audience, if you're trying to set your authority in place, I would do that. And then I would say, like, the interesting thing about this, I've been thinking about this a lot from the standpoint of, like, could I do this every day with breathing? Like, could I just go like, hey, let's do 30 days, and maybe I do like, but because I'm gonna have to shift the time, because this gonna be, I love y'all, but this gonna be East Coast folks, I love y'all, but this gonna be the last time I'm on at 5 a.m. Like, I'm up at 5 a.m. trying to get to this here computer at 6 a.m. I gotta move that. So we're gonna have to shift y'all to a midday situation. Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think only it's the learning. Like, it's so much, it's the learning, like, is exercising a muscle that we oftentimes don't exercise. And sometimes we can get into a social media content, even a strategy, expertise kind of rut. And so if you're ever looking for a way to flex the muscle of, speaking and talking and getting yourself out there, as well as showcasing your expertise, whatever your expertise is in, like, I think going live is definitely a way to go. Even if it's, and you cannot care how many people are watching it when you're doing it.
That's right.
I think that's what also throws people off. Like, you're doing it and it might not be any people watching, or there might be very few people watching while you're doing it live. Don't worry about that. That's none of your business, right? Don't worry about that. Just keep going. And I think flexing the muscle of consistency, commitment, living in your expertise is sometimes exactly what we need to kind of get that, like, your adrenaline going, like that mojo, like, that's okay, right. I got this. I can do this.
No, 100%. Like, that is so true. LinkedIn, I think people sleep on doing LinkedIn lives. I would say, like, now here's the thing. StreamYard doesn't connect to LinkedIn in the same way. So I can't see how many people are watching on LinkedIn, and I can't actually respond to comments from StreamYard on LinkedIn. I can only do that actually on Instagram. I'm sorry, on YouTube and Facebook. So there's some nuances with the tech, right? Where, like, you're live and, like, how you can manage it. The thing I do like about StreamYard is you can do multiple types of production elements in the moment. So, like, I could put up people's links. I could put up people's names. I could put up, you know what I mean? I could do these different things in the moment, and I could have them queued up, and then I could just hit buttons and they would pop up. I think the thing about not getting caught in the numbers is so many people watch after. So for any other replays, if you miss any of the shows, you can always go to Facebook. I'm sorry, that's a lie. But yeah, you can go to Facebook, but you can go to YouTube and go to the live section of BGV's YouTube, and you'll be able to see where we are, the whole show. Other than that, you can catch the clips. We're clipping it up every day and we're putting them on social. Yeah. So if you follow us on Instagram, TikTok, any of those, you can see them. So I think that, like, that's also a really interesting part of, like, the nuances of the platforms. And that's what I'm starting to learn as I do this, because as we put the clips out, I'm like, oh, you know, where did the clips do better? Like, you know, what we need to do with them. So it's a fun time in that way. And I'm a little bit of a scientist around some of this stuff. Like I like to be like, let me see how that works.
Yeah.
Let's try it, pilot it. And I didn't make this up all on my own, even though I do not know the guys. Like I do not know the social media post that I saw that suggested this. I can't find it. I have no idea. But there was a social media post where the guy was like, just go live he said go live for 2 hours. He was like, just go live for 2 hours a day and then clip it up. And then you have content. And I was like, And my co-host for the 30-day show on the Omi side was like, let's do 90 minutes. And I was like, you right, because what we need 2 hours for? Who am I trying to impress? Yeah. I can't do that. I can't do that for 2 hours a day. I think
that's so good to like be to have the capacity to be able to try things. And I think that is one of the things, because when we got on, I was talking about my calendar, right? Like that I shouldn't be allowed to put meetings on my schedule. I'm just being honest with you. I should not be allowed, because in my mind, I can do everything and I have all the time in the world. Like in my mind, it's like I can do it all and I have all the time in the world. And my schedule reflects that, right? And so I'm sitting here like, where I'm supposed to be? With who? And what? And I don't put no notes or nothing on me. I'm just out here loose, just winging it.
And I honestly do not know how you are living your life without an admin. It is beyond me how you are being a professor, teaching classes in business school, being an active breathing human. I have no idea how you're doing that without an admin. I cannot see my life, okay, without some type of assistant ever. I'm gonna keep it 100. So I'm gonna have to figure out, like, you know, next steps at the BGV. I got to be making enough capital to pay an admin. And I'm going to make enough capital. But I'm just saying, like, it's almost like a record. You know how, like, when you start out, you be like, I could just, you know, I don't need I could just, or you might not say, I can just, you just might do it. Because it's all, you like, I just got to do everything. I am now saying that whatever feet picks I got to sell, you see what I'm saying? Because I am going to have me an admin. Like I don't know my life. I've been doing this again. So I've been doing BGV for 10 years, but for at least the last, let me see. I think I had my first EA was actually 2020. So I was 2020. Yeah, 2020, 2021. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm lying. I'm lying about that. Even when I didn't have full resources, I knew it was just me and an admin, because I was like, that's all I need right now. I just need to get these events rolling. I need you to handle I got this part. And that literally, I had a whole full volunteer team. Love them. They were great. Love them for being in the first leg of the journey. And I realized the mentality, the way they were thinking about things, just wasn't going to get me where I got to. So where I was going. So I was like, I'm good. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm just getting me an admin person. Figure out what I got to pay them from whatever money I'm making now. And that was for my for-profit business at that time. Figure out some money I can get them. And then that's how we're going to rock. And so first, shout out to Steph, because Steph was one of my first admins. And then and then Isabella. So Isabella that works with me now, she's been working with me since 2018, 2017, 2018.
I love
Ride or die. I love her. Yeah, okay. When I didn't have nothing, I was like, I need some. Actually, let me take that back. I met Isabella through. No, that's right. Actually, it is right. I don't even know. Ultimately, it's been so long, I don't even know. That's how long it's been.
Yeah. And I think too, like, we need to, like, you know, and you fuss at me, you've been fussing at me for years, and I do have support. So that's the thing. I do have support.
I can't
Yeah.
deal with it.
Yes.
You
I do
just
have support,
you
but
do, but
I'm
you need. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you talk because see what I'm saying, because it gets me. It gets to me. You see what I'm saying? Like
when your friend,
I have to calm myself down because it
yes,
gets to me. You know what
yes,
I'm
when
saying?
your friend just go off on you. That's
Okay,
it's just like, listen,
let me put myself on mute. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't even want to. I don't want to slip up and say something.
listen, my friend.
Um,
That's when it's love. See, what you're seeing is great love and really belief in each other. Because I'm gonna try to tell you something. I don't play about Omi, and I will say Omi don't play about me. So I'm gonna go.
not
So
at all.
she will snatch me up. I don't know why you don't have it. Like, what are you doing?
But you know what? I just have to let it go for my own nervous system regulation. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
because I don't follow directions well. And that's one of the things that makes me an amazing entrepreneur, but
True.
it makes me a horrid.
And I think makes you a great professor, like makes you a great teacher
Yes.
because you know that the people ain't gonna follow the directions. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? You know the people you talking to.
Mm-mm.
Some things you say to them is one
Yep.
in one ear and out the other, and they just like, thank you,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Thank you
like,
so much.
child, didn't I tell you back in
Yes.
19?
And I get in so much trouble, and I know I need an admin. And one of the things that we talked about this, we've been talking about this literally for the entire 30 days, is getting your operations in order. Because one of the things is when you bring in an admin and then you don't have anything in order for them to do, like, you know that you need them to do stuff, but you have nothing. You just
Okay,
out.
let's talk about this. Let's talk about this because I'm glad that you're saying this. Okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
good. Here's the thing. So you should not, if you're hiring someone that is supposed to lift things off your plate, then don't feel like you got to have the plate together for them to go and lift it. And that's anybody, COO, admin, like support staff. Anyway, like I know that's what we think that we have to do. Like, and it makes sense because you want to bring them a clean house for them to maintain, right? But that is, if you got a clean house, that is not necessarily the time where you bring cleaners in, right? You should rely on them to come in and clean the house. Right. And I think that like that reframe, I'm so glad you said that because I do want entrepreneurs to reframe how they think about hiring because they think like I got to have it all together so that they can come in and do something. Actually, and I learned this through like me trying to go on sabbatical because I did an internal audit to see like are people in the right roles, right? And then I was like, oh gosh, like I gotta rearrange all this so then they can and the consultant said to me, like, nah, make one key hire and make it their job to revamp all of this. And I was like, oh. So I just want to add a perspective that like if you bring in an admin, this is also helpful in you deciding who that admin is, right? Because sometimes what happens is we clean up the house and then we bring in the cleaners that can only clean it to the level we've cleaned it at. And that's not actually what you're looking for, right? You're looking for people who can see things that you can't see, who see, and I'm using the cleaning thing as a metaphor, but it's like, you know, you want them to be able to see things that need to be cleaned that you didn't even know need to be cleaned, but it brings you reprieve because you're like, dang, I never thought about cleaning that baseboard over there, but I did need that. Right? You know what I mean? And then sometimes we try to get the houses clean as we can. I'm using, again, we're talking about admins or executive admins, but I'm using this cleaning metaphor. We get the houses clean and we bring in staff and then they can only maintain it to the level that we can maintain it at, or they don't maintain it to the level that we maintain it at and they clean it different. And then there is this friction that happens with us where it's like, I had it clean for you. I needed you to do it like that. I ain't got no full instructions around how I did it, but I need you to do it like that. And then that is also a disruption. So when joining forces of sorts, right? When bringing in people and your EA or your admin is a partner, not a partner in the business that, they know that, but a partner in the work. So y'all got to be lock in step in a way where like they can almost complete your sentences. Now, I'm not saying they're gonna do that on day one, but you start to get to a place of like, okay, they understand how they don't clean like me, but they understand how I clean enough to make sure that things are the way they need to be, but it might be in their own way. However, it needs to arrive at the timing that I needed to arrive. And that's the kicker, right? So that letting go process is really why people don't hire. And I'm not saying you, but I'm saying like in general.
It's me. No, it's me.
That letting go process is a lot of the reason why people don't end up hiring.
Yeah, it's me, and I know it's me. Like I said, I have help, and you met Kirsten. You know Kirsten. Kirsten is my person.
She's wonderful,
and she's flipping amazing. And she just be like, just let it go, like just stop touching it. And I've gotten, how you see older people and they get stuck in their ways. Like I'm one of those. Like I'm serious. Like I'm just so stuck in my ways that I have created this rhythm of, managing my emails, putting stuff on schedules, like, doing my social media, that it's like releasing one of them is almost like, I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody else is doing that. I don't know.
But you know what? This is why AI is probably perfect for you if you could also lean into technology. Because you can have all that level of control over a thing that's not a human.
Over a thing that's not a human. That's the thing. Like, listen. But I'm just saying, I know I'm not the only one, right? Yeah. And it was like this morning, I was sitting here looking at my schedule, and I'm like, who put these meetings on this schedule? But it was me. It was me. I did it.
Well, here's the other thing. Now and that's the other part of like taking it all on yourself, is now you got to clean it up.
Yes.
You got to go either I'm not sure about your schedule today, but I'm just saying, like, then you got to be the one to go do the apologies and the cancellations and the movings around. Yep. And you got to be the one to follow up on the movings arounds and cancellations.
Oh my goodness.
No, ma'am. And no, sir. I'm good. Like, shout out to Roxanne Wine. She's in a chat on LinkedIn. She said, I'm an executive admin. If you want to connect, please let me know. This is a great conversation. Roxanne, send me a DM. Omi Bell, because I think y'all may be watching on the Black Girl Ventures pages. So DM me is Omi Bell, OMIBELL. Because I love to keep me a bench of admins. You see what I'm saying? Like I never know. Because I have so many different projects. And I'm the kind of person that, like, if I like you, and you know this again, if I like how you work and I like you, I'm trying to hire you. I'm trying to give you all the money I got.
Yes. True. Hey, that's a true statement.
Can you do this thing right here? I see that you did that. And I'm thinking that this is transferable to this. So can you do this too? You know what I'm saying? Like I no new friends when it comes to like hiring. You see what I'm saying? Like if I can hire a person that could do multiple things, or I see your talent and I need it repeatedly, you best believe I'm coming right back to you. Like I'm trying to throw you all the dollars. Like even if I create a new experience that you're gonna do. I know you did this for one, but can you do this for 5 people? Okay, come over here.
And I love it. I love it. And I think we may have to have a conversation about the why people are hesitant to hire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Because
let's talk about it, because I'd be so annoyed.
Yeah, because I think it's not just, because some people is money, right? Like, like you don't want to pay the money. That's one reason why. Some of it is trust. Some people have trust issues, challenges. That's another, that may be another why. Like I said, for me, some of it was the trauma of losing a team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I did create a team at one time. And when I lost them, when they left, like it was the trauma around like, oh my goodness, do I want to go through that again? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do I want to go through the hiring, the, onboarding, the liking you, to bringing you into the fold, because when you're really small, a lot of times your employees become your family. Like it's like it becomes like a part of your, and it may not be your direct family, but you start to know
Mm,
things about, about them, their children, you know what I mean? Like you what they like, what they don't like, and you have a
mm.
level of care for them where it may not be family, but it's family like. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you create this culture, and then when they go, it's like, oh my gosh. And like Omi said, I think they also take institutional knowledge with them that sometimes you don't even know how to pick up what they put down because they did
So
it
so
so well.
no, oh my God, this is so true. And it's so true. Jeez Louise. You said some things there. And that's why I will openly say part of my uh challenges has been keeping people too long. If I would say I had some missteps or mistakes or whatever, it definitely would be keeping people too long. Because there are some people who are that, what you described, and there's some people who ain't. But my ability to let people go in the beginning, I'm a little bit better at it now, but like, so in the beginning, I was letting people go left and right. It ain't right, child. Like it, you're gone. You know what I mean? And then it started to be like, okay, girl, you may be being a little bit too harsh. Let's figure out if we can train some people so we don't have so much turnover. Then it turned into, okay, well, let me have a little bit more patience, which then lead into people like it becoming a more, we always had a family vibe at BGV, but becoming more of that, where like now everybody else got attached to each other too. So it wasn't even just me getting attached to the people, the team members got attached to each other too, because you have that family sort of centric vibe. And I remember I've had some leaders come on and go, you shouldn't have this family centered vibe. Right. Because it creates these, maybe feelings and bonds that aren't real for being able to manage people at work. So you shouldn't have that. Right. And we tried, I listened to that leader and I tried to quote break the family bonds, I guess you can say, or create this like more sterile environment. But it's just not who I am. So then you end up in this place where you're like, and then I'm like, wait a minute, actually, there was nothing wrong with this family vibe because we are complex human beings who can understand multiple layers of things. But I've had to do layoffs because the market shifts and things like that. I may have to do more layoffs, right? And I haven't made any full announcements to the team, to the broader community yet about what's happening with us. What I need y'all to do is donate. Let me say that. Let me be real clear. I need people to donate. We are doing a TikTok telethon tomorrow, and not tomorrow. I lied.
The 18th.
The 18th, we're doing a TikTok telethon. You can give now. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for people to give to donate. $19 in celebration of Juneteenth. That's what we're asking people to do. We need people to donate. So I'll say that. But I will reveal soon, like where things are and like the things that we're going through. I'm not at liberty to like say it right now. But anyway, I'm saying to say like, I used to grieve. I used to grieve every time I would fire somebody or somebody would have to go. Well, grief, full on tears. Now they didn't know it, you know what I mean? Because I had to do what I had to do. And I told, I've said this before on air. I lost friendships. Okay. Friendships, long-term friendships, hiring people that I know because I ain't never worked with you before. You know what I mean? Like I know how you are as a friend. We cool, we kick it, but I never been at work with you. So for some of those folks, it was like, oh, actually, so like the hiring journey.
It's really, and it is a journey. Like it is absolutely a journey. And I think that sharing it more lets people know that they're not alone in the journey, right? Like we've all made hiring mistakes. And I think that some of us have all grieved at some level the loss of a great employee or a not so great employee, right? Because like it's grief there too. Like like, how did I even not even see that this wasn't a great, like, or how it impacted your business in a negative way. So then you have to grieve like a relationship
Ooh,
that maybe was
child.
messed up because you hired the wrong person, right? And so I think that it's a lot of that as well. And in this journey, like a lot of times you always hear, you need to hire, you need to hire, you need to hire. And nobody really tells you how or who or what and how much and what you need to have. It's almost like you're literally learning on the fly. Like you're learning as you go. Especially if you have no background in human resources, if you have no like outsourced human resource department to help you, like you're literally learning on the fly. Like, okay, I'm gonna hire so and so, and then you like, woo, wait, and you hold people's livelihoods in your hands. And so, and that's another thing. That's a lot of responsibility being a founder and knowing that you are paying people so that they can live their life. You know what I mean? Like your pay is what people are paying their mortgage and their car notes and taking care of
It's
their
a
bills.
wild level of responsibility that we
Yes.
don't talk about enough. I'll be honest, like it is a wild level, especially like right now, right? Like the times we're living in where like the job market is so crazy. People are in the job market for 2 years trying to find a job and haven't been able to think about letting people go feels like OMG.
Yeah.
It feels like even if you needed to go because your performance was off, it still feels heavy. And and this is what I always say, employers don't have a voice in these streets. So immediately, if you do have to let somebody go, we've had the reactions we've had from people who had to be let go is also crazy. We've had people try to go. We've had people literally go in before we could cut their access and delete data. Like, and if I told you the people's names, you'd be like, what, girl? Because but they go in and delete people's data because they're mad because they got fired. Even though for some of these folks, they have been getting, hey, we need you to do blah, blah. They've been getting reviews. They've been getting feedback. They've been doing all that, and they just wasn't paying attention to it. And then finally the day came where we're like, hey, you know what? We appreciate you. We ain't saying you can't sing, but we got to go. And I would never think that people that worked for me for 2 years or more would get fired and then be malicious enough to go delete data that they know we need. Like it didn't occur to me that you were that person. That the whole time you was working with me, right? Again, employers don't have a voice. So as soon as if they get to go out on social media and talk all the junk they want, I can't say anything. I just gotta shut up and be like, okay. You know what I mean? It's like that's also hard from an employer standpoint, that employers don't get a voice. When I see people online talking about like, I ain't putting no 2-week notice, forget my job, whatever. And I'm sitting there thinking like, I don't know that you're putting in a 2-week notice for me per se. Like, what's the integrity of your work? Don't you want to wrap your work up to a place that, like, do you care about that or no? And then it's like, because they can come in and fire me anytime. Guess what? You can come in and fire us anytime. Like, whatever the illusion is in your mind that makes you think that, like, there's, like, I don't know, it's weird. Because I'm like, no, you can come in and you can come in and quit today. Ain't nothing I can do about it either. Like, I just got to be like, okay. And then I got to take everything that's a gap and feel it. And when you're smaller, you feel that. When you're bigger, I don't know. When you got 1,000, 10,000 employees, maybe you might not feel that the same. But when you're smaller and then people go talking junk about it, it's hurtful and people go steal your data or, it's like, what? I'm working with you for 2 years. I didn't know you was that malicious. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's like nobody can understand what the employer is going through.
It's a lot. It's absolutely a lot. And there are so many nuances and so many differences when dealing with a smaller organization as compared to a bigger conglomerate, right? And so a lot of times we all get put in the same bundle of a job and an employer, when in reality there are definite nuances and differences when you're dealing with a smaller organization as compared to a bigger organization. Like a lot of times, like when you're dealing with a bigger, and I'm going to just use like, let's say a school system, a hospital, like, you know, when you're dealing with that, when they let you go, they have a whole department and they have people who've already completed applications, and they may have a hire just waiting for like a spot. And so it's a little bit easy, and they have their own issues, right? Trying to fill positions. So let's not go there. But when you're small, not only am I competing with larger organizations who are looking for the same great talent, right? So I'm competing with these larger organizations looking for the same great talent who offer benefits and packages that oftentimes we can't offer. Like, you know, when we're small, like we can't offer that, right? And then to get in, I need a multifaceted employee. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I need a employee that it might not be your job to do social media, but if you see that we're lacking, somebody pick up the phone and do, because somebody helps somewhere. So I think it's a lot of nuances that we need to talk about when it comes to hiring as a small organization and how to position yourself for the best hires, and trying to figure out who you need when.
I'm glad you said that. It's a good segue into our guest today. Figuring out who you need when. Chef Lean, also known as Kathleen O'Brien Price, is a professional chef, content creator, and founder of Ken Haven House, a family-focused social club. A passionate advocate for parents, she combines her expertise in hospitality and wellness to help others. So let's bring her up. Let's see what she got going on. Hello. Oh wait, we can't hear you.
Hold on.
Okay, now we can hear you. Oh, then you went on mute. It says you're on mute.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay. Hello, good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me. How are you guys?
We're good. We rocking and rolling, you know. Well, tell us a little bit about so I like Chef Lean is so cute. What are you still a chef, or have you now moved to full like what you're doing with the Ken Haven House?
So no, I'm still a chef. What you guys were just talking about, like hiring people, because I'm a solopreneur, like literally everything I do, but obviously I do so many things, I cannot do them alone. So currently I am a chef. I have like 3 private clients. I have a meal prep company in Harlem, like a meal delivery service every Monday. Because Ken Haven House is like the dream, the next step, but it's not bringing any income currently. So I have to like do both at the same time. But yeah, so like actually today I have a catering event too, as I'm finishing up 2 clients, and I had a baby like 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations. Yes. But what?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm doing a lot, and who you bring into your circle like really, really matters. And it's actually so hard to find good people too, is the other thing for me as a solo person, and finding people that like believe in my dream, like just as much as me. But like also knowing what people are worth and knowing how I've been shaded in the past as a entrepreneur, right? Like I don't ever want to not pay someone what they're worth, but like in my building phase, it's sometimes really hard to. So like, I'm like, hey, I'll pay you like in this amount of time once I get this invoice. Which feels really weird, but like when you find the right people, like, and it kind of feels good, like as you're building the dream together. But yeah, I don't have a ton of money to just be like, oh yeah, here's this salary to help me build this family social club.
Thank you for saying that too, because I think, it's a great part of the conversation. Anika Hobbs, who's a founder and curator at Nubian Human, and she does many things. She gave me some really great hiring advice, like early on. She was just like, be really honest with people. about like where you are and what you have, what you don't have, and let them know that this is a journey, right? And if you're ready to take a ride with it, then okay. And I think like I was so nervous to do things like that. When I and Shonda Lambert, shout out to Shonda, who's my like right hand person for a while. There was a couple people, she was like, we need to put out a volunteer opportunity. And I'm like, no, like I can't be asking people to work for free. Like we got to make, that's not fair. We didn't have no money, but I'm like at that time, but I'm like, how can I, I can't do that. And she's like, yes, you can. Like, we're going to put this together. We're going to put it together like a job description. And we're going to tell people that we're not paying, right? We're not paying. We're building something and we're going to put it out there. And so that's what we did. And I had 2 people who worked for me for about almost 2 years for free. And I told them like, look, when I get the money, I'm telling you, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just rock with me for now. I promise. It was about 2 years before I actually started being able to pay them. But when I was able to pay them, I paid them. And then as they moved to more like full time with me, they worked for me for maybe like 3 or 4 more years. So I think like that loyalty built up with just being honest. Here's the thing that I know it sounds crazy because it sounded crazy to me. So it sounded crazy to me. People want to be, there's some realm of people that exist. Maybe not the people right around us that we can see, but there's 7 billion people on planet Earth. And there are people out here who want to be aligned with meaningful things. And that like integrity piece is a part of why they do it. And it's like they made the money, yes, but like the part of why they do it is the what is it called in Lord, I can't even think of the words.
Intrinsic.
Intrinsic, there you go. Intrinsic value that they get from working along somebody. Now here's the thing though. It gotta be, they see that when you're really gonna build it. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's out there BSing and they, they're not really trying to build their thing, then I'm not saying be out here
just asking people to work for free.
Yeah. But if you're really passionate about what you're building and the people can like feel that in what you're saying to them, then a lot of times people will be like, okay, well, let me tell you what I can give. We also go so all or nothing with it. Nice. Hey. If you can't do everything I need, then I don't want you to do nothing that I need. Because another thing I had to do in those free people is break it down. It wasn't like I didn't bring them in as needing like some full-time do everything guru. That's not how I brought them in. It was like, I just need you to post blogs weekly. That's it. Can you just do that? So that means that you also have to know your business to the point to know what maybe smaller levers can completely continuously pull to help you grow. That may seem like they may seem small, but they're like huge to continuous growth.
Yeah, that's exactly like right now we have a newsletter for Kinhaven House, and that's been our weekly thing to keep people our engagement active and stuff like that. And I actually have outsourced that to a friend who does an amazing job. So I just have to put it into the email every week. She sources all the information. It's a bunch of activities people can do all over New York. We put our activities, we put like a little short blurb, and she's been working. And it's like you said, it takes you have to know like exactly what's going to be most helpful, which is a job in itself, right? Like to think about what's going to push your business forward in a way that's like low effort. And of course, like anyone that's like volunteering their time, if I'm like, she's like, oh, like my kids, the school week's crazy this week. I'm like, it's okay. Like I'll pull the slack this week, obviously, right? Like it's my business at the end of the day. I'm very grateful for all of the help that you're giving. So, yeah, whatever you can give, like I will take.
I'm not like that.
You're not? You're like, no, this needs to be done.
No, and the reason why I say that is because I'm honest with you up front.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I need this every week because if I don't have it, then I can't get to the point of paying you.
That's true.
So I'm not saying I'm gonna be. Well, maybe I am. But I was gonna say I'm not saying I'm as hardcore as I am with full-time employees. But I would say that like I'm not even that. I mean, I'm I'm super hardcore with excellence, but I'm also graceful with my full-time employees, right? So like if they, need a day off or something like that, then okay. But I think what happens when you lead, if you lead with, but of course, if you need to not just kind of compromise, then what happens is they compromise first versus dedication first. It's a hard dance.
That's true. Not leading with that, but giving the grace, I guess, if like something happens, right? Like not leading with whatever you could give, but
Yeah. Don't lead with whatever you can give, because that's not. Yeah. No, be very clear and be very clear about what you have to give. You might have other things to give that's not money, and I think that's what people forget. Right? Like I may not be able to pay you, but what can I give you? And I'm not saying that you're gonna be. How people, they want you to come speak, but they're like, and I can pay you an exposure. And it's like, bruh, I got more followers than you. I definitely don't need you to pay me an exposure. You know what I mean?
So I got that a lot as a young chef. Like, oh, come work this event with us and you'll get connected. Like when I first moved to New York, and that was total BS and a lesson I learned over and over again, which is why I'm very cognizant when I am, maybe not paying someone as much as like a kitchen assistant will get paid, but I'm really helpful in connecting them in other ways or finding out their interests or like, like really being just a good human overall, like a good, kind, caring person.
And people don't talk about how when you encounter people who are not good humans, it could be traumatic.
Yeah,
it can. Like
it can. A quick question in regard to what you're doing, because you said that you're a new mom. And 2 weeks is like yesterday. Like
right. No, for real.
Yesterday.
Oh, I guess no, today's 3 weeks. I've marked 3 weeks. It's just been going by so fast.
Okay, that's still yesterday. That's the day before yesterday.
It ain't been, let me say something for Black folks. If it ain't been 6 weeks, that baby just came out.
That baby is so new. It's a new baby. So as a business owner, how are you managing now? Like, how are you juggling this solopreneur, new mom, responsibility? Like, how are you? Yes.
Yeah. So this is actually my second kid. I have a 5-year-old. And I will say that transition was like way harder. We were also coming out of COVID. So like my whole industry, as everyone's industry, had changed like so much. So just like so many changes all at once. That was like really intense. And the private chef world, like really, I didn't have the meal prep company at the time. So the private chef world had changed. People weren't paying them as much. I didn't really want to be in people's houses because I had a new baby. This time I thought I prepared myself like, okay, I'm going to because last time I went back to work 6 weeks after she was born, and I was working for a private client, making her meals in the morning, taking them over to Jersey. And when I got offered the job before she was born, my first child, I was like, oh, that's easy. Like so easy. I'll just cook in my house, take it over. And then like, I quickly realized that nothing is easy when you have a child. Like I'm like waking up earlier to pump, and then like having to, like my husband travels a lot for work. So like one time I had to have my best friend come over at 5 a.m. when I took her food over. I was like, this is like crazy. So by the end of, and she was here for 6 weeks filming a movie. So at the end of that 6 weeks, I was like so over everything. And again, I was first learning how to be a mom. So it was just a total like mind F, like what the heck. Again, this time I was like trying to be more prepared, like trying to even think about like, budgeting a little bit better for like financial purposes. Like, oh, I'm not going to go back to work until more than 6 weeks. But then of course, all these opportunities arose, and I saw my bank account dwindling, and I was like, well, it won't be that bad. I have a lot of help. But what I have done better this time is I've been very clear with the people that are helping me, like my husband, my mom is here, very clear about what I'm not doing in terms of like house stuff, right? Like I've kind of relinquished, like I'm not like, sometimes people ask me what's for dinner. I'm like, that's not my job. Like I literally wrote down on a piece of paper, I'm not doing anything I don't want to do till July. What I want to do is hang out with my kids and work, like to make money and keep my businesses going. It's not even just to make money. It's just like the meal prep company. If I'm not doing it, then it's not happening. And then it's just kind of gone. What I have let go of is the pressure to produce on social media currently. As I've gone like more internally, and that's hard though, because you're still on social media every day, seeing people doing stuff and feeling like you're falling behind. But what I know is not falling behind is the actual businesses that I'm building, because that's what I've been focusing on. So really, like, just stepping out of like the day-to-day duties as much as possible, like house stuff, has been the biggest like burden lifter for me. Not to say like even working, I'm like, oh, I regret this. But then when I'm actually doing the work, I I love it. Like I love cooking. I love everything that I'm doing. My husband and I got into like a little heated discussion a few weeks ago because he actually already had to travel too. And he's like, I love my job. I was like, so do I. Like, I want to be working. It's not that I don't want to do this. It's just that it's really hard to do everything. So creating those systems and really being clear with the people supporting me that like I can't do everything. So I need you guys to step it up a little bit. And they have been. So that's good.
That's really good to hear, because that's what a lot of what we Omi and I were talking about, is really understanding, that balance, right? Because it's not just your business that you're building, it's also family, right? It's also legacy, it's generational wealth, and there are a lot of responsibilities placed on both parents, but especially the mom when it comes to caring for infants, for toddler, for children in general. Like, it tends to, everybody kind of turns around and looks at like, hey mom, like, what do you
the amount
do?
of times I've been asked what's for dinner, I'm like, yo, I'm not in charge of that until July.
I love that.
I love that too. I love that. This is what I'm not gonna do. I'm telling you, this is what I'm not gonna do. That's really the key. Like, people think the key is what you're like writing out what you're gonna the to do. Actually, the key is what I'm not gonna do. I would even say that in people you hire or bring on. Like, get to the point where this is what I'm not gonna do. I would say that in your brand, this is who I am not. A lot of times people constantly define like, this is who I am, this is my brand, this is who we are. This is like, and it's like, love who you are, but who are you not, and how are you maintaining that separation so that you don't fall into that? Because to what you're experiencing, which I love, is the ability to go, actually, I don't do that. Yeah, actually, I'm not doing that.
It does not feel comfortable. Like, I feel so mean after I say something like that. And sometimes people point out how mean I sound, but I'm like, 5 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I feel okay about it because I feel good because I'm not doing it.
Right.
So can you tell me about like the private club? Like, I'm interested in that because I've visited a few private, like clubs. Can you tell me about that and why you decided like a private family club was where you wanted to go?
So I came up with this, or I started thinking about this after my first child, again, because my life just like completely changed. Living in New York City, you're always out, you're always about, but you're going to things, especially when you have a kid, that are just kid focused. Like, so you're sitting there, you feel like your kid is getting enrichment, but you feel like you're doing something to your kid, but you're just sitting there like, oh my gosh, I'm so bored. And coming from the hospitality world, there's no place that really combines like something for parents. So the slogan of Kinhaven House is kid friendly but parent focused. So it's like a place that you could bring your friends that don't even have kids and have like a coffee, have a tea, chat, and feel like an adult. And your kids can be playing with supervision, because that's the key missing point of like most of these kids spaces. You still have to watch your kids. So like you're there and you're like still just zoned out. But if you have like resources to help your kids or like watch your kids like they're at recess, a nice little cafe with good food, because that's another missing piece in a lot of kids' things. Like you're eating chicken fingers and pizza.
Oh my
God. You guys know the vibes.
Yes.
So just creating that space that feels like you're home away from home. And there's been such a boom in membership clubs, but seriously nothing for parents. And then like parents are starting to bring their kids to like places like Soho House, but people without kids don't want kids there. Like even myself included. If I don't have my children, I don't want to see your kids either, like throwing the rocks around. Like,
and then there's only like certain times you can bring them to Soho House. So
exactly.
yeah.
And they're not built for kids. So kids are just doing weird stuff because there's nothing for them to do. So it's really something I think that our society is missing. And we're starting to realize like how important supporting parents is, how much the mental load is, how much we need community with parents. Like we've created these insular isolated worlds. And I think really we just, as we like, get into more into tech, more into social media, more into AI, but like we're human at the end of the day. So we need that human connection. We need that in-person connection. We need conversations like this. Like, we are too much in our own minds and we think like everything is just our own problem. But like when you get to talk to more parents, you're like, oh, I'm not alone. Like everyone's kid is not wanting to take a bath. And that just makes you feel much better, right? So creating this space in New York City has been a challenge because just real estate space is so expensive. So that's kind of where I'm a little bit stuck. But in terms of like building community over the last 2 years, I've been doing like pop-up events. So currently I'm fundraising or looking for investors to do more weekly events so I can make it more of my focus. Because like to your question at the beginning, like, are you a chef or are you founding this thing? I kind of have to do both until I have enough money to really focus on Kinhaven House because it's been like a back burner project and we've built a beautiful community. It's been really growing and lovely, but until I can truly focus on it, it's complete. I can't do everything. I wish I could. Not enough hours in the day.
That's amazing. I love that. Like, being a mom of 3 who didn't start being an entrepreneur until after I had my 3rd child. Like like needing to have the capacity to bring my children with me and be able to have a meeting. You know what I mean? Like I need to have this meeting. Like I need to meet. But I do have a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old, and an 11-year-old. Like they have to go somewhere. So exactly. I think that this is a really, really great opportunity to solve some of the challenges that a lot of entrepreneurs are facing as they navigate, or families, because it doesn't even have to be entrepreneurship, right? I just kind of want to hang out with my good girlfriend and have a cup of coffee and not have my kid throwing the napkins at the Starbucks.
Exactly. Don't do that. Or you just put them on an iPad, which then you're like, that's not the best. Like, but it's fine after you've been at dinner with them for an hour. Like, here you go, watch this Netflix show.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just was wondering, how do we normalize, and Omi, maybe you can chime in with this too, and with this question, how do we normalize that founders are multifaceted, right? How do we normalize that my children are a part of this founder journey, right? Like, especially as an entrepreneur, like my children don't go anywhere. Like they are a part of the team. So when you see me, you see them. And oftentimes, like when you're, chef, you are actually going in for funding and that sort of thing. And it's just like faux pas to see a kid as a part of the conversation. And I'm just like, no, they got to come too, because this impacts their life every day. Like, so how do we kind of, how do we normalize the fact that founders are families? Like these are
girl.
Yeah, I don't
I think that what's interesting about this conversation, right? I mean, for me, listen, you know history in a sense of like when we brought up and just talk about the social development over history of women being able to be visible, and then we go into children being able to be visible, right? So like there's this world that feels almost dystopian to think about it. Like at this point in my life, it feels dystopian to think about like, oh shoot, like there was a world where only men went to work. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like all the women stayed at home. That feels like wild for me to even try to fathom. And I think that's why it feels wild for like certain Republicans to try to take us back there. Cause it's like, bro, what are you talking about? But so the idea of women, it's crazy because what you're speaking to, Takia, just kind of continuously showcases how women have not been really let in yet, even down to the temperature in office buildings. You know what I mean? Like even down to like just the idea that like this is set to the man in a suit, right? Like these things are still very real. So like it's like most of the time the what has been created, the visual is the woman being there and the child being there. How do we have more men taking their kids to these meetings, right? And hopefully that makes, unfortunately that we even have to think that way. That like if more men was taking it, if men had vaginas, we would know deeply how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like we would know deeply. We be having different conversations about abortion. We having different conversations about birth control. We be having different. That's the craziest part. We have a different conversation. If men went through menopause, they would know how it works by now. You know, it's like this is the stuff that's crazy. It's like, why aren't these men taking their kids to the dang on meeting? And in the, you know, I feel like then people would be like, oh, this is normal.
Well, I think men do. I think men do. I think that I've seen men, and I think when men do it, it is more acceptable. Right? When men do it, they are applauded. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And people are
Because look at his dad taking care of their kids.
I've taken my daughter through the airport many times by myself. No one says anything, but he took her like twice maybe, and just gets all the like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing, so cute.
To see your dad
yes,
taking care of their kid. You know, it's like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so
it's just we're stuck. We're stuck together. That's that's the thing. Like we're stuck in this mom-dad difference.
Yeah.
And so like until we are socializing new ideas that become more acceptable, it's sort of it.
The only way is to start raising our sons differently a little bit too, because it is just kind of ingrained in my husband. Like no fault to him, no, I don't want to blame anyone, right? But
no, it's just not like,
it's just not normal for him to think like, oh, I walked past this pile of laundry 4 times, and it doesn't bother him like at all, you know, or like, you know, it just doesn't, they just don't think. It's harder for them to think, I think, outside of like whatever their specific task is. I don't know if that is something you can teach as a young kid, but that was my thought. Like maybe we should start raising them slightly differently. I don't have any sons though, so I can't.
And I have a son, you know what I mean? And yes, I agree. Like I think it is socialization, you know what I mean, both internally and externally. But you know, as you think about like building this amazing community, right, of in a space where parents can be free to be an adult, right? Because that's the thing.
Yes,
like I am still an adult. I'm still a grown woman. My name was Takia before it was mom. And so I would love to be able to have both of my worlds coexist, where I can be a woman, Takia, you know what I'm saying, a founder, a expert, all of this, and be able to look over and see my kid. Like, they're there, you know, they're having a great time. And so I just think that it's amazing that you're doing this, and we need more of it. And as we battle these things, I just wonder, you know, like what in a ham sandwich? Like we should be able to, like this should be normal at this point. The kids,
the kids are here. But yeah, I don't know. Even thinking about like women's bodies, like if, like to your point, if men had to go through the things women had to, like all the things during pregnancy, like a week ago, my husband looked at me like, "Oh, and your feet." Like I don't think I could do that. I was like, "Yeah, I know you couldn't," and you don't have to. Luckily for you.
I'm curious about space design. So I don't know how far you've gotten in terms of like, you know, how you actually want to design the space. But I'm curious if you just have any just like light thoughts of like, what does the space design look like?
I mean, that's like the fun part, right? Like that's the vision that I have. Like I go back to all the time, anytime things feel really hard or I'm like, what am I doing? So I really wanted to feel like an actual house. With like a cafe area that feels like a living room, kind of like open kitchen situation. And then like a couple segmented spaces, one that's dedicated for just kids. And then one that is dedicated for adults only. So the idea is like, again, that you can be like an adult, a whole full person when you come in there. So yes, you can spend time in the cafe area with your kids, or without them, but like that area is designated for everyone. If you want to come and like do some work or just literally have a mental break, you can go to the adults only room and like drop your kids off in the like playroom area. So it does require kind of a lot of space. Also, there's a big and there's like, you know, kids' birthday parties or parties in general. So keeping 2 segmented spaces to be able to do parties on the weekends is going to be really important. But just really like aesthetically, like I'm like, it has to be aesthetically pleasing. Like it has to feel like I walked into like the Edition hotel, right? Like that's what the vibe I wanted to feel like. Because most of the time when you're walking into kids' space, and I've done a lot of research, there are places that are starting to do this, maybe like 2 in New York now that are like kind of similar. Even and then it makes me feel again behind, right? But I'm like, no, they're not going to do it like me. They're not going to do it like me.
That's right.
But the design, I visited a lot of spaces, and every time I've gone to one, I'm like, oh, this is not. It's still very kid focused. Like I still walk in here feeling like I should just be reading a book. Now that my kid is 5, so she could, or my oldest kid is 5, so she can entertain herself. Now I have a baby, so that's a little different. But like the other one, like it just doesn't feel like a place of luxury, a place of like a breath of fresh air. That's what I want adults to feel like when they walk in there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is great. How do people? Is there somewhere that people should like sign up or follow to just stay tuned?
Yeah. So I have a website for Kinhaven House. It's kinhavenhouse.com. You can sign up for the newsletter there that has all our updates. My handle on Instagram is Chef Lean. I also like, to your point, it's like multifaceted. It's very hard. I feel like the world always just wants you to be doing one thing. And that's what makes it really, really hard as an entrepreneur, because you have to do many things and you have to talk about all the many things you're doing. And not just the world, social media specifically, which is like a huge piece of this business now. But if you're talking about many things, the algorithm gets confused and then you feel like you're doing something wrong, but you're not, because you have to be doing all these things. So on Chef Lean, I talk about cooking and family and Kinhaven House updates as well. But there's a website for Kinhaven House, so you can check that out too.
Okay.
That's awesome. Congratulations in advance, because I know that it's going to be amazing.
Thank you. I'm excited. Like it's been since COVID, it's been a long, hard 5 years of like figuring out. And now I feel like it's my time. It's ready. The world needs this. Like parents need this. Yeah. People, it's just like people need it. Yeah.
We need you, good girlfriend.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a good day. Have a good day.
Bye.
And just like that, 22 shows. Is it 22 shows? Is the date say 22? What is the date, y'all? 22 shows in the bag.
22 shows in the bag. 22
shows in the bag. Hey,
listen, that was some good information though, because you remember when IKEA used to have that
oh my God, I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking about the gym.
Yeah.
So you know how like you can take your kids to the kids club in the gym? I was like, that'd be cool if it was like a kids club at a cafe. Like I'd be down to go to that.
I would definitely
at like an upscale joint too.
I definitely would.
Cause I done took Skylar everywhere. She don't even know the number of places she been. That's how many business things she been.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that's so dope on me, because a lot of times it's like you have to push up against like, why not? Like, you know, it's just kind of like why not? Like they're here. Like and what? Like they're human. You asked me who was coming, my 7-year-old. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know, and I can remember having a conversation with someone, and she was talking about how she went in to pitch for funding, and she had to take her daughter. Now, she was not a Black woman. And one of the conversations I had with her was, would that be acceptable for a Black woman? Like if a Black woman walked into a funding conversation, you know, with a major funder, and they had their 4-year-old with them, and she was playing with her dolls, would that be acceptable? Would they even open the door? And it was just a conversation, right? It wasn't, it could have been a yay or a nay, but just a conversation. But it's just like, that's not even something as a founder that I would even, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't even fathom in my brain having a major funding conversation and bringing my child. Like
it's interesting. Now, of course, I'm a woman, I'm a mom, I'm a Black woman, so I probably would view it different. I think though, I mean, in terms of like, I was thinking as a funder, like, what would I say if I was like, oh, we having a funder conversation, and somebody was like, oh, I need to bring my kid. Initially, I would probably be like, okay. Now, when we got there, it really depends on how the kid acts, unfortunately. Now, because to be honest with you, I found people to be flexible in that way, or they'll just be like, why don't we just reschedule? You know what I mean? Like that would be it would be like, if you say like, hey, I know we got this meeting, but I need to bring my kid, it's an immediate, let's reschedule. I've seen that, and then you can say, no, I'm good. Like, she's good, she'll be fine, or whoever, the kid will be fine. And then people will say, okay. Now, if you get there and you're distracted, like you can't manage the two, it's bad. It's bad even if the person accepts it.
Yeah.
It's bad. And then, so you got to know your kid, and you got to know whether or not you can actually handle that, because people will be like, oh yeah, but my kid will be fine. You get there, the kid be doing everything. You be like, do you need?
But that's when they do everything on me. When they not supposed to, that's when they be upside down, flipping around. Like let's be real.
That is, and I think that's the challenge, because then people get the other thing that we don't account for is it's not necessarily just the look of the children being there. It is, my theory about America is we love children, hate adults. So the feeling that people have when the kids are there is they feel this like, just pay attention to your kid, don't talk to me. There's this feeling of like, I want you to be with your kid, and I do not want to impede on that. And I've seen this in different people, different realms, where people just have this like, maybe you need to be with your kid right now. Like, maybe you don't need to do this. Maybe you don't need to focus on what we talk about. Your kid is seemingly upset. You know, like, I think like people have that, and it's viewed as human nature. And yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, you are concerned about it. If I've had to get on the stage and literally have Skylar in the stroller at the bottom of the stage, on the corner of the stage, and be like, girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to chill out. You know what I'm saying? You can see me. I'm up here. Okay? Relax. You know what I'm saying? Try to get her to sleep right quick while I get on stage for this 30, 40 minutes and be on a panel.
Yeah.
And try to hide it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? And that's the thing. That's the thing, is trying to navigate, because as a mom, like, you have that natural feeling too. Like, it's not like you don't have like, let me go get my kid. Like, let me calm my baby down. Like, let me, let me hold her. I know that I can calm her down. But you also am like I'm the breadwinner too. Like, I'm the one, like, I have to get up here and start talking, because like, this is how I'm going to feed you later on. So I think it's some of that as well. And we can talk about it maybe another time. We were at an event, you and I, recently, and it was a gentleman who brought his daughter. You remember, just the cutest little mama. She ran the place. Let me try to tell you, she was, but we women stepped in to support him and help him navigate, like, the fact that he was there alone with this little one. She had to be like 2, and she was running around. And sometimes as a woman, like, we don't always get that same level of care. I'll throw that out there when we have.
Well, I 100% agree with you. We don't. And we don't always. Well, what I have found is I am more nervous to step in with the mom, because the moms that I've encountered are a little bit more protective over being helped with the kid. You know what I'm saying? Because I could be like, oh girl, let me get this for you. I got it. You know what I mean? It'll be like, okay, well, I just dads, and that may be the difference in the, like, how, some of the difference in the, like, dad piece. Because dad's like, child, yeah, get it for me. Thank you. Can you also, thank you for picking that up. Can you give her some water too? You know what I mean? Like, dads don't mind leaning. They be like, child, I'm struggling. You know what I'm saying? They be like, I don't got it. So, but moms be more like, no, I got it all together. I don't need no help. You know what I mean? Or thank you so much. They're like the nice, like, thank you so much for giving my thing, girl. You know what I mean? Like that kind of energy. versus dads be like, oh yeah, can you pick those two up for me too? Like the dynamic is different.
I can't talk to you. That's
the
it.
dynamic
That's
is
it.
the dad be next thing you know, you helping that man all day. You know what I'm saying?
Can't talk to you.
Now you the mom for the moment.
Listen. And I think that goes to show that, you know, like, is it a challenge with women accepting help, stating that they need help? You know, like, because that's another thing, right? Like, because have you been chastised for saying, you know, like, I need some help with this, right? Is it an expectation that you're supposed to have?
This is the crazy thing, child. Why we always get into these things? We got 10 minutes left because you know what? I was having a conversation with a man last night, okay, and he was like, "What are you looking for?" And we just, we end up in multiple parts of the conversation. But what came to me is like, when I see women that are married and I hear their reflections, and not talking about our guests. I'm not talking about her. I'm just saying, generally speaking, these men be chores. They be added chores. You see what I'm saying? And I be like, now say, judge me because I'm not married. You know what I'm saying? Judge me because I've been a single parent. But you over there got to take care of this man like a chore. I can't do that. I'm going to take care of my man. But don't you walk past that damn trash bubbling over like that no more. You see what I'm saying? I can't deal. Because the one thing I'm not doing is taking trash out. You see that trash bubbling? We get that damn trash out. You see what I'm saying? That is the part where I'm like, this dynamic, socialization, partnership, hiring, right? Like what the expectations that are available to have in these different ways of relating and interacting is just so interesting. Like it's something that like is a life study. And we're on the journey of it all to say like, you have a husband, but whatever expectations from his mom are carved out to be whatever from you, which then is carved out to whatever you feel like you got to take on as a mom. Hell, some of these married women more single than we are, child.
Don't say it.
Okay, don't do that. Okay, don't go there.
Hey, man, listen, you do gonna mess around and open up a can of worms. You gonna mess around, and you talking about we got less than 10 minutes now. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. And I mean, but I think I do think that there has to be a conversation around expectations, especially, as you enter into or get out of relationships, and all of them, like everyone, every kind, a parenting, a love, a mom, a dad, a daughter, a son, a business owner, employee, employer. Like there are conversations that we need to have. And I don't necessarily think that we're having them. And we're not having them consistently because expectations do change over time, and what I expected of you when you first started is going to change, right, as you grow into this role, right? So now you've been here for a little bit. My expectation is a little different because you've been here. You've been. But
guess what happens? Guess what happens and why people typically, on the path where people getting fired, the expectations change and grow and they don't.
But that's every relationship though.
Every relationship. And then sometimes you'll go into realms and of relationships where people don't need you to grow, or you grew and they didn't like it. Right? Like that part. We grew and you started to figure other things out, and it now is a values alignment conversation I was having also with the same conversation I was having last night. We're talking about voting. And I stopped talking to this person because they didn't vote in the last election. They didn't vote. I'm not going to say period, they don't vote, but they didn't vote in the last election. And I'm like, bro, do you see what we're going through right now? My whole company is challenged by this guy we got in office. And you telling me you didn't vote and you're like, okay with that? Like, you're not like, anyway, I won't go deep, but I'll just say like in that moment, and I was like, I think I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you're the person that's going to be for me. And later we end up having a conversation and he's like, just because we had a disagreement. No. We don't have a disagreement. this is misaligned in values. That's what I need you to understand. And that's what I think sometimes happens with even with the employee relationships, is like at a certain point, our values may fall out of alignment. Now, your reaction to being fired lets me know I was right. The anger, the deleting people's deleting information we need, lack of integrity, or things like that. That lets me know, like, oh yeah, our values have fallen out of alignment. This is the right move for me to actually like let you go when I did, even though like I was so anxious about having to do it. Then after I did it, you showed your whole ass, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that was right. So it's like sometimes you think you're wrong for having to fire people. You feel terrible about it. But ultimately, even when hiring, you got to think about values alignment. Now, sometimes, to the point, something that I fell into is I kept hiring people for what I needed then, not what I'm going to need. Because I was just like, I need somebody to just take care of this part. And then they would take care of that part. Then I realized, oh, that's the only part. Like, you can't take care of nothing. Like, you're not growing to take care of anything else. That's the only part you're going to ever be able to be good at. And I actually need something else now. So now I got to let you go because I need something else. And then I had to stop being like hiring for the moment and try to hire for the future, or else I'm going to have to keep turning people over. But that came with a CEO development, professional maturity.
That made my hair. I'm just telling you. And that's the thing about entrepreneurship, right? It's just like, if you really knew everything that went into it, would you have done it? Right? Like, would you have become an entrepreneur if you knew all of the things that came along with it?
I probably would have still. Because I'm crazy.
Likely, yeah, I'm loose too. You know what I'm saying? I'm loose too. So I would have done it. But it's just kind of like, but I'm grateful I didn't know. To be honest, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I went in blind.
I can see that. That's right. Oh, Roxanne said it'd be good to hire fractional workers. I'm glad you said that, because I do want to mention that like hiring doesn't mean that somebody got to be just full time. There's fractional work, there's part-time work, there's seasonal work, there's project-based work. And a lot of times it's good to work with someone on a project before you hire them full time, so you can kind of understand like who they are. Now be careful about that, because there's like IRS rules to like contractor, contractor. But and the ways you can adapt those relationships. But but ultimately, I do think testing out how you work with a person is a good idea before you decide to like put somebody on payroll, if you can, depending on what you got going on. By the way, Futures We Build Summit, September the 9th through the 12th. And by the way, September the 10th is the full day. And the other days will be, I'm dropping in the chat. The futureswebuildsummit.com. I've realized that dropping it on screen is actually not as effective. So I'm dropping in the chat. If you are watching on Instagram, you can actually click the link that's there and it will take you directly to it. But I'm dropping in the chat too. Futures We Build Summit. We need you to buy tickets. Also, the 19th, we are doing a telethon. I'm going to drop that link too. bgvfoundation.org/telethon. If you can't click the links, I'm dropping it. We are doing a telethon. Donate in celebration of Juneteenth. Donate $19 to BGV. That's all we ask for, $19 to BGV at 19 for the 19th. So it's Black Music Month. Also, happy Pride. I can't believe I went all month without saying this. I'm tripping. Happy Pride out there. Every time we get off the show, I would be like, dang, I forgot to say happy Pride. So I want to make sure I say this time. Happy Pride to my folks, all right? Out there. I know they just had a Baltimore Pride recently, because I saw some goodness and some drama happen. But I was like, oh, you know what?
I live in Baltimore. What say be expected?
That's the brand. Some fun,
that's what it is. You know what I mean?
And some drama.
Yeah. Okay.
So. But happy Pride. Also, again, donate, participate, BGV. The telethon is going to be on Thursday, and it's going to be all day long on our TikTok. And we're going to be having different hosts come in. We're going to be playing different games. It's going to be a good time. I host around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think. So literally right after I hop off this show, I'll be going right over to TikTok and hosting that hour for the for TikTok. This is, I mean, for the Telethon. But you are watching right now the 30-Day Show. I'm Omi Bell. I'm here, and my co-host Takia Ross. We appreciate y'all. We're on day 22. And then we have 23, then we have 24. So it'll be 30 days. However, it'll be within a 30-day window, but the number of shows will be 24 shows. So when we end on Thursday, that will be our last show of the 30-Day Show. We appreciate y'all so much for all the people who check in every morning, like Lita. There's a couple other folks. Like, we appreciate y'all for like listening, watching, chiming in, talking in the chat. And we hope that these 30 days have been helpful. We'll do more sign-off stuff on Thursday. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. All right. Same bat time, same bat channel. We appreciate y'all. Have a good rest of your day.